Hello everyone. This is my white presentation for our class, Family and Community Collaboration. My why statement is essentially to live life to the max and creatively so that it influences others to do the same. So what does this mean? To me, this means that life is very short, and I believe that everyone should be living life creatively. And I think that this is something that should be spread amongst everyone I know. Because essentially, as a society, we're trained to be the same as everyone else. We're told that we need to live life and abide by society's rules, do the same thing that everyone does, get a job, have a family, be dull, worry about what other people think of your life or what they think of you and your choices. Personally, I want to put a stop to this, and individually, the most I can do is to inspire others to say, why should I abide by society's rules? Why should I live my life dull and like everyone else? Why should I live life like everyone else does and do the things everyone else does? And personally, I want to put a stop to this because it really bothers me that people think that you should do what everyone else does and you should live life conventionally, when the truth is that we don't fit into little molds. Not everyone is going to want to do what society demands from you. Not everyone wants the white picket fence, the family, and the job you hate waking up to every single day. The reason why my why is this statement is because individually I could influence others to stop caring what other people think of you or what society demands from you, so you could flourish and really become who you want to be without fear that you will be rejected from society or that people will no longer want to be associated with you. Because as morbid as it sounds, we are all gonna die one day. And as morbid as this sounds, it's important to realize that life is short and it is temporary. So that's why the second part of my why statement comes into play, the fact that we should live life to the max. Because although mortality is a harsh subject that everyone wants to pretend that it's not going to happen to us, it will, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. We can treasure life even more because it's temporary. If anything, if it lasted forever, we take it for granted. But in a way that it's kind of beautiful that it is a temporary experience. That's why I believe that creative expression in yourself and everything you do is so important. Why would we waste time worrying about what other people think of our choices or anything when really intrinsic happiness is what defines our life? That's why I think that no matter how weird or daring you want to be, you should do it. And people that judge you for it are not worth your time anyways. You will attract the right people by living life to the max and being truly genuine for who you are. Bouncing off of that, why do I need motivation? Why do I need motivation to be creative and to not be afraid of what anyone thinks and to live life how I want it to? Why do I need motivation for that? Well, to begin with, we all need a reason why we should get out of bed. If we didn't have any motivation, no goals for life, nothing, we would probably stay in bed all day. But essentially, motivation is what drives us to do things we like, do things we want to do, as well as doing things we don't want to do. So we could overall end up, in the grand scheme of things, to make your goals come true. Because we know that in order to achieve what you want, you're going to have to do a lot of things that you don't really feel like doing. Personally, I find motivation hard to come by. This is because motivation in general is hard to come by. It's hard to just sit around and wait to be motivated by something beautiful or something amazing to go and do something beautiful or amazing yourself. That's why, to motivate myself, yes, I do go out and try to find inspiration. This might be in how other people are changing the world, beautiful pieces of artwork, beautiful things that exist in the world, but also discipline is far more important, in my opinion, than motivation. Because if you just sit around and wait for motivation to come to you, you're going to take much longer to achieve your goals rather than if you just achieve a routine that encourages discipline in your life. However, it's still important to envision your goals so you don't lose track of what's important to you. While discipline does most of the work, motivation is very important to keep you happy while you achieve your goals. That's why another thing that helps with motivation is keeping pictures, messages, quotes around you, things that you can see constantly that remind you of your higher purpose. Because we all get distracted sometimes easily by the internet or things we see or common drama in our life. I think that's why it's important to keep your goals around, at least visually. This is why I want to inspire my future students. Personally, I want to become an art educator, and I want to inspire my students, something that is often not taught in school, to not only express themselves with the art they make or the things they like or the things they wear, but to not be afraid of life or what other people think or what society wants to conform you to. Because personally, in school, we are taught to make art, how to draw, how to paint, forms, lines, all that stuff that is necessary to be taught. But what we're not taught is to develop our own style, not just in art, but in everything we do. To not be afraid of what other people think of the things we make or the things we like. Art is important, and the way that you express yourself in it is important. But you should also not be afraid to express yourself in the way that you dress and the things that you put on yourself. That's why I want to inspire my students to be who they truly are. To be wild and free and careless about what other people think or what other opinions are going to affect them as. Because I want to show that the world is not dull, boring, and miserable. Existing should not be sad or painful or boring. The world is big and beautiful, and we should all do what makes us truly happy. And some of those things people aren't going to like, society's not going to like. But that's why I want to inspire my future students to live life to the max, because life is a short and beautiful gift that we should all appreciate a little more.